Holy crap, come on, man.
I woke up this morning, tied my boots up, 'cause I knew it was gonna be a long day. Lined my truck up, grabbed my coffee, kissed my baby, and got on my way. 'Cause I'm working till it's hurting, that's the only way to make Wednesdays pay. So I'm working even when it's hurting, that's the only way to make Wednesdays pay. Jump up early with the birdies, ready to get dirty. This ain't a song for you if you asleep at 7:30. I rise like the sun on the back of the pound, full throttle in the bottle like that homemade shine. I'm just trying to make a.
What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me. So happy to be here tonight. I know that we talked about a lot of stuff the other day, and I apologize for anybody who might be listening on Hood News Global right now. We haven't connected yet. Still waiting for the server to hand off, so I'll let you know about that. But what I want to talk to you about is we have a problem going on right now. Okay, we're well of this problem, well aware of this problem, and I want to say hi to everybody who's joining us now. I want to say hi to Kimberly and Vicky and Missy and Patrick and Helen and Deborah Williams and Louis V. Lenny and Christopher Marks and Helen Johnson, and you know the outpour love and support you guys have been giving us has been amazing. We've been really trying hard to bring you the good stuff, the facts, what's really going on. So first thing I want to say to address that, okay? Very first thing I have to say, the piracy of nonprofits needs to stop. I'll say it again. The piracy of nonprofits needs to stop. Does anybody know what that means and why I would say that? Anybody at all? Anybody want to comment as to why I would say that? Here's why I say that. We have a Commodore commanding fleet pirating nonprofits. We have trolls who are out there manipulating posts and comments and narratives to suit whatever agenda they're trying to put forth. I want to tell you, I am not paid by anybody. I am not affiliated with anybody. I am an independent patriot. Independent patriot. Period. Hands down. I did not fight to see my flag abused the way that it's being abused right now. The illusion of what's going on is ridiculous. Okay? You have a Commodore commanding fleet who is directing the piracy of nonprofits. All of you are waiting for me to just jump right into Lee Kenworthy. Everybody's waiting for me to jump into Lee Kenworthy because, oh, what's happening? What's the latest saga on Lee Kenworthy? I'm not jumping straight into Lee Kenworthy right now. I'm not. Not at this moment. You know why? You'll get your update, but it ain't going to be till a little later. The reason I'm not jumping in it right now is because I'll buy into all the troll bullshit, and I'm not a troll. I'm a troll hunter. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a truth seeker. You are not going to sway me with your opinions and your slander. Granted, we're talking about some very tough fucking issues. I get that. Believe me, I fucking get that. Okay? And I apologize for my vulgarity, but I am very passionate about this. We are talking about sensitive issues. We're talking about real issues. The thing we're not talking about is when the troll is trying to manipulate the narrative and the way it's affecting the real issues that we're trying to deal with. You're no different than the mainstream media. Little fun fact, did you know that most news corporations are entertainment entities? So they can lie straight face to you in the news if they want to? I'm not calling them out. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying it's a simple fact that you should be well aware of when you approach these things. I'm saying there's a simple fact you should be well aware of, that you do have con men, you do have manipulators, you do have people claiming statuses they do not have. And this isn't in reference to the Lee Kenworthy case. This is in reference to a whole different case that has much to do about Lee Kenworthy and the issues that he's dealing with, as it is about the real issues going on in this country. So, what's been on the biggest feed? What's everybody been paying attention to right now? Everybody's been watching this VOP, Veterans on Patrol Group, Alpha Company, right? I've been watching them. I've been checking their feed. I've been seeing what they're doing. Got to tell you, I'm not impressed. All right? I think the initial intent, fantastic. The purpose of going out to find homeless vets and get them reintegrated into society and get them reintegrated to the VA and get them help, that's great. To claim sex trafficking rings and tie it to the Disney porn sex trafficking ring on your live feed, that's bullshit. That is straight bullshit. You're not a veteran, Mr. Lewis. I know you're not a veteran. Lewis Arthur. You have many names. Many, many names. A.K.A. Michael Mayer. A.K.A. Lewis Arthur Mayer. A.K.A. I don't know. I know that for a fact you've been felony. I don't want to attack your character. I'm presenting the facts here. Facts, okay? Not attacking his character. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. What I am going to tell you is I'm going to give you the facts. I'm going to let you decide. And if anybody from the Alpha team is watching this, because I'm sure this will get to them at some point, I want you to know that I would love to have you on my show so that you can clarify some of these facts for us. We need clarity. Sex trafficking is a huge problem. I do not disagree with that. I can vouch for that. I know it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem across the United States. Huge problem because of the cartel. And some of the things they do, and they're drugging and feeding the drugs into this country and the trafficking of immigrants and making money and extorting people off that. I know that. I know that there is sex trafficking in Haiti. Big sting. Mr. Craig Sawyer came down. He did an operation in Haiti. Ironically, Craig Sawyer was the same what? Well, let me rephrase that. It's not ironic. Mr. Craig Sawyer also showed up at the Arizona alleged sex trafficking camp. And I'm going to switch to the other cam. Dilly's not here at the moment, but I got to switch to this cam because you're going to see some stuff that pops up here that I kind of want to talk about. All right? And it's going to highlight some of the facts of what's going on here. So, I know for a fact there's multiple felony charges against Lewis Arthur. I know that for a fact. You'll see coming up right now, it says extremely interesting indeed. Okay, I found some links. I went and did a little research. You can do Freedom of Information Acts. There's many ways you can find this information. And the guy we're talking about, he's listed right above my head. You can see him there. That's Lewis Arthur or Michael Mayer or Lewis Arthur Mayer. There's so many different names for this guy. And you'll see right now things coming up behind me that are talking about his case. I want you to, it's going to keep looping as we talk about this, and I want you to pay attention to this, okay? This gentleman is the designated leader of Veterans on Patrol. Mr. Lewis is not a vet. Now, in that extremely interesting indeed piece that you saw flying up and some of the information you see behind me, it talks about some of the charges that Mr. Lee actually has on his record. Okay? You see I put up, there's also another allegation of a female veteran who was raped during part of this camp. So, again, I'm not telling you this is what happened. I'm telling you these are the allegations. I'm telling you the facts that I see. You can see the felony for illegally possessing drug documents. It's case number, let me find it real quick. Yeah, case number 199 Charlie Romeo Alpha 01046. He's got another felony case for domestic violence. 99 Charlie Romeo Bravo 035 0315 in Ohio. He has multiple assault charges. He has aggravated assault charges in a felony class C. Case number 0803 Kilo 03582. Why do I tell you this? Because you as the viewer and you as the American people who are watching this and who are directly in Arizona and around Tucson and other areas that are known sex trafficking areas, this impacts you. This impacts your children. This impacts everything. What kind of attention is being brought to you right now? What is the real attention being brought to you right now? Is it helping the real issues that the real parents have with their children and the missing children going through there? Or does it look like a circus? Not really sure. I can tell you that this homeless camp in Tucson, Arizona, okay, they went around there searching for the homeless veterans. Now, you search for this homeless veterans, and it states in one of the documents here, let me read it to you, it says, Mr. Lewis Arthur is a self-proclaimed addict, okay? He has a cult-like following, and is by those who are typically discarded. So he's basically using, I'm not saying he's using, but from some opinions, you could see why people would think he's using and manipulating these people and creating somewhat of his own militia, okay? Now, you're going to be, I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you. I get it. I apologize. I'll try to slow it down. Yes, see, I got a lot of comments coming in from Stephanie Stewart. I reuploaded this guy today, and it's a mess. You'll notice in his last live feed, towards the end of it, he kind of lost his shit the other day. I think it was last night, as a matter of fact. No, he's not dead. He's in Arizona running a void. Okay, so I know this guy. I know this is appealing to you. He's got 1,000 live viewers every time he goes on. Where's his facts? Where's his backups? Are they being covered up? You can see that right behind me right now, there's 3 grid coordinates out of the multiple grid coordinates he listed. And you got Cimex property listed as one of those grid coordinates. It pops up on the map. Is that a true spot? I know that Cimex, or I don't know. It is my understanding that right now Cimex is under U.S. Department of Justice investigation. It is my understanding that the camps for these homeless vets are actually on Cimex property. So, what part does Cimex have in this? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. I looked into Cimex. And if you've been watching the little facts flipping behind me, you'll see one, and I listed that specific coordinate that he gave on purpose. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to buy conspiracy theories. I'm not into that kind of crap. Again, I'm a seeker of truth. I'm looking for facts, okay? But when I see Cimex is a partner of the Clinton Global Initiative and a $100 million donor to the Clinton Foundation, and then I look at Clinton's ties to Haiti, and then I look at the sudden appearance of Mr. Craig Sawyer, the Salt Man, who calls himself and has been verified as a former Marine and a former Fed, I'm trying to wonder what the coincidences are here. Where do the dots line up? And then I realized that Mr. Sawyer also did a sex trafficking ring bust or operation in Haiti, which happens to be from, connected to Hillary Clinton. So I know there's allegations of Hillary Clinton and the Clintons being involved in global sex trafficking and global sex trade. I have not been able to confirm nor deny that. I would be a liar if I stood here and told you that I knew that for a fact. What I can tell you is that there is a global sex trafficking problem dealing with children, with women, with teenage women. And it is here on our soil. I know there are trafficking hubs all through here, and I know it is cartel connected. And I'm not just talking about drug cartels, because there's more than one kind of cartel. You have oil tycoons trying to form an oil cartel, essentially, to manipulate things. You have multiple cartels. You got the banking cartel that is trying to manipulate things to put them to their advantage. Okay? Point being, when you see these coincidences, it should raise some flags for you, as it does for me. And like I said again, I'm not trying to take the credit away from a group of individuals who are patrolling the border for the proper reasons. Okay? Arizona Recon Border Patrol. They've been around for a while. They followed the Minutemen after they had started building this somewhat militia type thing that was patrolling the borders, and there was a catastrophe ending to that, where the founder basically had killed his wife and killed himself, and it kind of died out for a little bit, and now it's been struck back up. Now you have a unit like Arizona Recon Border Patrol who've been doing this for a long time. And you have a gentleman like Mr. Lewis Arthur who has a known pattern in history of con artists and being a con man. He is a known, or let me say that again, let me rephrase that. I don't want to misspeak and misrepresent. But I have found through other links, just like the one I've been sharing with you, and extremely interesting indeed. If you see some of those stuff in the back here, the first-degree sexual assault of a child, and his list of other arrests, and the allegation of the women rape, it's ridiculous. So I want to make sure he's not out being a pirate of nonprofits, claiming to be a veteran himself, which he's not, and being a convicted felon, he cannot carry any weapons, which is why you never see him carrying weapons. And okay, I stand behind VOP 100%. He is not claimed to be a vet. Well, I appreciate that. And I would hope that you could elaborate and help us understand and help the listeners understand a little bit better why there's so much scandal and why there's so much craziness involved in this story. What is your opinion on that, Shanna Rich? Tell me why. And we got another one, Denise Zimbardo, the Echoes. I believe in the VOP 100%. Those men and women are working endlessly. This is a government cover-up if I have ever seen one. Thank you for joining, Kimberly. What proof do you have to share that with us? Because nobody wants to say, or nobody wants to share the proof. Nobody wants to put out in the mainstream. I'm not going to lie, last week, my website got hacked. Never had a problem with it before. I talked about, you know, the Ken Worthy case of Mr. Lee. My website spends 3 days or a day and a half from Wednesday to Thursday, and every time you go to it, pops up, this is a suspicious site. Okay? Rich, if you knew the truth, he says that multiple times on his feeds that he is not a vet. You're right. He is not a vet. Why would you call your organization Veterans on Patrol, though? That is my one question. Because to most people who would just be joining and checking it out, when you hear something like Veterans on Patrol and you find out the guy who started it is not a vet, it kind of throws you off. Throws me off a little bit. Does it throw you off, Dilly?
Absolutely.
You're a vet. Why would it throw you off, Dilly?
You know, being a vet, you're proud of what you do, especially serving your country.
Right.
So you really don't need to brag about it. It is what it is. We come on the show and yeah, we're two Marine vets / soldier over here. We don't need to come on here and say, "Oh, look at us, yada yada yada. We done this, we done that, blah blah blah." I mean,
matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up, because how much have we talked about what we've actually done in our service to all of these people who are watching?
We brought it up and said, hey, we're just two vets doing our thing, trying to get the truth out and everything that goes with it. So
yeah. And do you guys listening and watching think that we haven't received the same amount of backlash? Yes, we have. That's why I'm goddamn pissed off, and I'm telling the trolls, I will catch you. Don't be a fucking troll on my shit. I will fuck you up. And that's not a threat. I'm just going to expose you as a troll because you're not helping the situation. I want to address Denise real quick. I saw the video where Mr. Sawyer claimed it was a sex camp and then retracted it. The underground tunnel, no one could fit in other than a small child. I saw the video too. Then I also saw his disavowance of it being a sex camp whatsoever. That's also why I mentioned the fact that he showed up and ran a sex trafficking operation in Haiti. Now, there's a lot of people talking about government cover-up, okay? Helen, yes, he is a felon. That is verified fact. I have also been told, and I cannot say whether or not he was or whether or not he is or has ever been, but I've been told by multiple people, multiple sources, that he has been in some capacity of an informant and or working directly with informants for quite some time, especially with FBI informants. I think one was Mark O'Connell. I have it here somewhere. I'll look it up. Give me 1 second. I apologize for that. But the point being is the fact that you have all of this stuff, and you have all of these suggested cover-ups, and I'm not saying it could be a cover-up. I'm not saying it's not a cover-up. I'm saying that the plausibility of there being governmental cover-ups involved is incredibly, I would say it's very plausible, to quote the Mythbusters. And I say that because if you connect the dots, and yeah, that is a good question if it's fraud, because there does seem to be representation for vets to do this cause, yet it's not under vets. So there's been a lot of crazy stuff going on. I haven't quite figured out it yet. We're new to this. Like when we started this, we didn't expect our show to be this crazy news flash about what's really going on and stuff like that. But part of us can't let it go because it's dealing with the things that we believed we were defending and the things that we believed we were a part of for the common good. And when we come back to see these kinds of things happening in the common good of our people, I wonder, why did I not waste, but why did I give 17 years of my life to something to come back to nothing that it was or nothing that it's supposed to be, in my opinion, for my service? I hope you can understand that. Now, Nancy, I know there was a claim that they found a skull of a child, but it was an adult skull. There was a lot of claims that, yes, the governmental cover-up, that's the easy way to put it, because, one, I know I've seen live feeds where they're saying they're holding evidence, and he's been an investigator, but he hasn't turned over any evidence. Hasn't been processed any evidence. I watched a live feed recorded from them where they're actually going through evidence. He's touching with 2 hands, and he's only wearing 1 glove to protect himself from putting his fingerprints on the evidence. I hate to tell you this. I'm not a CSI guy, but if you put your fingerprints on the evidence, it's contaminated and it's no longer valid evidence.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line, okay?
Common sense right there. That's common sense.
That's common sense. You're absolutely right. But Dilly, think about this. Okay, can you agree, and I can agree, the idea and the premise of what they are doing and what they initially set out to do is fantastic. I can agree that there is a sex trafficking problem in this country. I can agree that there is people in governmental positions and governmental entities that could potentially be involved in this. And I really hope you go and take a look at some of the stuff that's floating in the background later after this video about Cimex being linked to the Clinton Foundation, about the Haiti ties, about the I don't need to be CSI to have a brain. That's a good point. You don't. And we're going to talk about that point here in a minute. You don't need to be a CSI to have a brain. Okay? Great point. Point what I'm getting at.
Awesome point.
Everything can start out with the best intention. Everything. Okay? They had a former FBI, Elio, 35 years teaching a class today, and he made statements himself that Elio are not, okay, law enforcement officials are not doing their jobs down there. I agree with you. I can say that I think overall there's a lot of jobs not being accomplished. I think overall that there is short staff. I think overall there are a lot of homeless veterans, and I think overall we are overlooking a critically important American asset of human capital in putting these veterans back to purpose. My job, my goal, and my mission to my fellow brothers in arms is to make sure they are not exploited, is to make sure they're being taken care of, and to make sure they are not tainted by anything bad or the piracy of these kind of movements because it almost feels like militia to me. It almost feels like it's militia to me in a sense. It doesn't feel like a group like the Arizona Recon Border Patrol, been doing this for 8 years, who have the backing of government and who get the same kind of training. Are all your training former law enforcement officials? Are all your training, or is any of your training from current law enforcement officials? I think that would say that would make a huge statement, in my opinion. There again, like I said, I don't know everything. We're new to this. But I'm not going to let my narrative get twisted, and I'm not going to be trolled by organizations or try to be recruited by organizations to pitch their twisted narrative. I'm going to give you whatever facts I can find, and I hope that you would accept those facts and take those facts and understand your due diligence as an American and look at those facts for yourself, because sadly, we are in a state of the union where, well, I don't know how else better to say it. You got an ignorance level to where things are just fed to you, and you believe it. You believe it. Facebook is turning into literally. Facebook is turning into daytime drama TV. Am I right or am I wrong?
Absolutely, 100%.
Like,
I mean, that's an understatement. You're understating.
Hey, did we fix the sound, guys? Too. I want to ask that too. I want to make sure it's not fuzzy and not crazy. But please go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. The social media aspect has been able to reach out to anybody and everybody around the world.
Yes, it's global. It's everywhere.
Around, not just United States, to the English-speaking, what we talk to, but when we're talking to this situation, it's like, wow, why? How come? What for? That's what drives me nuts the most. We talk about it all the time. Why can't we just have a non-biased platform? Everything right now is so biased to
agendas.
Exactly.
Everything is biased to agendas. If you look at the news stories that get put out, they follow a season. They follow a season of world events that are going on. It's just ridiculous. It's a season. You got there's a whole other party forming right now that you don't even know about. Okay, you're absolutely right, Dilly. There's a season of the way these stories are told. There's a season, and it always happens when there's a huge global event going on, either to deal with economy, with protecting the borders and nuclear weapons and trade deals and trade deals specifically. You know, I don't know if many people know this or not. Did you know Mexico literally has 6% of the world's supply of aluminum right now?
No, I didn't.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Why do you think Canada and Mexico are bitching at each other and fighting? Because they don't have to pay the tax. It's a free trade, right?
Yep, free trade.
So basically, Trump's kind of like, hey, I'm going to go to one of them and say, hey, I'll make it worth your while if you want to you do the right thing, but if you don't, you're going to suffer.
Yeah.
So now it forces Canada to look out for its country's own best interest. It forces Mexico to look out for its country's own best interest. And then the Chinese chime in because they feel like they're being shafted on the trade.
They're really shafted, yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, when I look at this and when I connect these dots, and when I look at people, you know, you never hear the stories about the guys who are doing the great stuff if they don't have the record, and if they don't have the drama, and if there's not some question for it. That's what's sad. That's what's sad to me. You always hear this great story, and it's like, oh, what is it? What's the truth? I want to know what's going on. Am I saying they're not doing great work out there in Arizona? I'm saying there is a group of people out there doing good work. But I don't think that it's necessarily being run the correct way. And when you don't run it the correct way, and in my opinion, it's not being run the correct way. And in my opinion, when you don't run something the correct way, it opens you to the people. Oh, why did I get shut off here? What just happened?
Oh, it's idle.
No, I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
I'm talking about this. What the fuck?
We're getting shut off.
So, apologies for that. Apparently, we just got bumped off Facebook. So, I guess that means we're talking about some of the shit that people don't want us to talk about. What do you think about that, Dilly?
This is not surprising whatsoever. This is not a shocker. This is not a shocker.
Man, hey guys, we're gonna take a second, let people join back in. We gotta apologize for some reason. We just got kicked right off Facebook. So welcome back, Denise. Welcome, Patrick, Bruce. Welcome, Lauren and Rachel, and welcome Shannon Rich and Leah Shaw. I want to welcome all of you back. For whatever reason, we got kicked off.
Hi, babies. That's my girl.
So, in case if you're just tuning in, I'll give you a recap of what's going on. If you're joining us, rejoining us, please bear with us for a second. For whatever reason, we just got cut off during this broadcast. We're talking about, hi Cassie, thanks for joining. We're talking about the piracy of nonprofits. We're talking about the commodores of corruption, okay? And you would be crazy it would be, what's the word, remiss of you to dismiss what we're actually addressing right now, okay? Welcome, Nancy. I must have had some key phrases. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel that way because, like I said, you know, for the day and a half after my last show, my website gets fucking hacked and pops up as a do not trust site. I got pictures of that. Now we're talking about the Commodore or the Commodores of corruption and the piracy of nonprofits, okay?
Jeez.
And yeah, I did just coin those, and I came up with them, and I've been thinking about how to present this. So, will I make a mistake? You're absolutely right. I can make mistakes. But am I going to try and bring you the truth, regardless of making mistakes or not? Yes, I am. Will I admit the mistakes? Yes, I will. And if I don't know something, guess what? I'm going to tell you I don't know at this time, but I'll endeavor to find out. And you better bet your sweet ass I'm going to find out.
What up, Tom? Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Hey, Tom. I'm glad you're joining us.
Long-time supporter here.
So, back to the point at hand. When you have... These groups are great. I'm not trying to take that away from the VoIP. But I am trying to say that when you're dealing with perspectives, in my opinion, you want to present yourself in the best possible way. Right now, having a leader with linked informacy history with FBI and McConnell, and with known drug trafficking and known, let's just say that the charge list is pretty extensive, and it includes a sexual assault charge against a kid. Okay? There's allegations of rape. I don't know if they're true or not true. Supposedly the rape was reported to the VA, so the verdict's not out on that yet. 100% transparency is a must. I am so glad you said that, because we don't have 100% transparency in this country. We don't have 100% transparency in half the organizations who represent us as our advocates, or as our we don't even have 100% transparency in our government. The people that we elect to represent us, we don't have 100% transparency with them.
That's where it needs to start.
That's where it needs to start. You are absolutely right, Dylan.
Oh my God, that's they should have to. The people we elect into this country,
yeah,
to run our counties, our state, all of that. They're the ones that need to show their transparency first and foremost, without a doubt.
You are correct.
And unfortunately, they're given a free pass too many times, and that's what's the problem. The media, the media is the worst part of it. They want to give everything to whatever their agenda fits.
You're right. Well, it's not only that, but you got to understand, like, I'm sure our viewers here notice that certain stations have certain affiliates. I would be safe to say that Fox News is a Republican affiliate news entertainment entity. I would say that other news outlets and mainstream media, like CNN, is a Democratic media outlet. All right? And you can tell, just if you watch CNN in the morning for an hour, and then you watch Fox News in the morning for an hour, you can witness how they tell the same story, but they twist the narrative. They don't keep the narrative true. They tailor the narrative to fit what's going on in the climate, in the political climate, in the entertainment climate, because it all has what's the word I'm looking for? There's both direct and non-direct impacts as a result of that. Have you seen any of that, Dilly?
Absolutely, 100%. They have to fit what they feel fits their agenda to their people.
And their
most
people.
Listeners.
Yep.
I mean, the more listeners they get, obviously, the more money they bring in.
Right.
That's how.
I'm not saying, listen to me again, I'm not telling you what they're doing is legal or illegal. I'm not saying it. I'm just giving you and stating things in my opinion until I have all the facts. I'm presenting you with the facts that I have at this moment. But what I'm saying to that is you have people who see this. Like if you ever watched our first show, we had a gentleman on our show called Christopher Blake. We referred to him as Hurricane Blake.
Yes.
Okay? Here's why. He has a Second Chance for Vets Foundation here in Florida. He's never had the same physical address more than once that I've been able to find. He approached us and tried to basically get on our first show. Okay, gotcha, no problem. So I do my research, we find out a lot of stuff, and we find out he basically ripped off every vendor, lied and didn't pay his special appearance guy, and left this couple, Tim and Megan, stranded at a 7-Eleven, which we came and picked up 2 days after to get them to a safe facility. He was a fraud.
Are you trying to bring up what gets my gears grinding here?
Oh, my gears are fucking grinding right
wow.
now. All right, and I'm Lauren, thank you for joining us. Lisa, thanks for joining us. Trusted documentary crews like a Bunker Hill.
Yeah.
So true. If we hang 3 of them, all the others will straighten up. If we hang 3 of them, yes. I think we can. Hi, Becky. Thanks for joining. Antonio Pomalo. In all fairness, people that watch that type of news, for the most part, do not want truth. They want to be controlled. Critically thinking is not their strong suit. You know what? I can see your perspective on that.
Absolutely.
I can see your perspective on that 100%. I think that, in my opinion, I don't think it's necessarily that they want to be controlled. I think that when you go to a news entity like Fox News and you're a Republican, that is solely there to reaffirm any affirmation you have about your party and what's going on, so that you maintain your loyal responsibility as an American, as they put it in the Republican Party, and you're making America great again. And you think you're doing the right thing because you have the best news. That's the beauty of it. That's the guys. That's the trick. That's how easy it is.
Yep.
They say, hey, we know exactly how to reaffirm our viewers' beliefs. We know what they're liking to buy. We know which commercials to put in there, and we know how to tie it together. It's interesting. And I don't know. I think it's kind of messed up. What do you think? Let me preface this too for you. Dilly has been in and out of the show. You guys know that. He's been dealing with some of his own stuff, and now he's back. So you got bombarded last show, man. I know you got bombarded.
Absolutely, I did.
Now, I just want to make sure you're not getting too bombarded this show, but what do you think about all of this so far as you hear it? Because you've expressed your opinion on Trump. You expressed your support for him. I'm not saying that you're a wholehearted Trump supporter. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. Yeah. But I understand your more Republican points of view.
I am 100% Republican. I do support Trump 100%. Well, let me rephrase that. I support him 90%.
Okay.
He is what I voted for. Should he put his foot in his mouth several times? Well, absolutely. Do I support everything that he says at this moment of everything that he says? No. I wish that he would get off Twitter, which he will never do, because that will grab the attention of the voters like myself, because they want to hear the raw, I don't want to say truth, but they want to hear the rawness. They want to hear everything. The Republicans or the rest of America wants somebody to be that leader and actually go after something. And I had to go through a situation on Facebook with a couple people saying they knew a little bit more about how presidents are ran, how this president did that, this president did that. Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you right now, I went through the end of Clinton. I went through, just like you, I went through Bush Jr., I went through Obama, and then that's it. So you and I, or I'm going to say myself, I'm going to talk about myself here. I went through the Obama era. Being in the military was the biggest fucking struggle. The biggest struggle, especially going into year 3 and 4, when him and his administration started cutting government funding. I got to play basketball with this man, not once, but twice. That's a big deal. You play basketball with the President of the United States.
That is a big deal.
That's a big
It is a huge deal.
I got to shoot the rock with this guy. Guess what? Just because I didn't support what he does or doesn't do at that moment, I got to play ball with him. The reason why I say this is I didn't support what his agenda was for America. He was my commander-in-chief.
Right.
I had to do what he had to say.
Right.
Whether I liked it or not, I had to listen to it, and I had to go through it. And then I had to retire early by not my choice. I was pushed out because the Obama administration, not just, you can't blame everything on a president. You can't blame everything on a president. You cannot do that.
No, you can't. The president's also the fall guy for when shit doesn't work to plan.
Absolutely. So it comes to the point where his administration, where I'm going to say the liberals were voted in because everybody loved him, which that's fine and dandy. That's what America's about. Free speech, gun rights, your voting rights, and all that comes with it. And America voted. So I have to flow with it, whether I support it or not.
Hey, thank you, Tom. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, did I have to get the wrong end of the deal? It is what it is. Guess what? My son and my... I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off there for a second.
Do you think?
My son and my daughter are both now serving in the Air Force and in the Navy. And I told them both, when you joined, you're joining at the right fucking time. And the reason being, you have a Republican in there that supports your military. They're going to pump money into the military. They're going to pump money into the economy. I'm not trying to say that we need to do all of that at once. But, once again, Trump comes in and he wants to make America first. And for some reason, when Trump came in and started talking about, let's build the wall, let's do this, let's build our military, everybody, it's so sad for them that they have so much hate for one man. Why hate him? Why not sit down and listen to, oh, he's racist, he's this, and he's that. It's like, sit back and relax. I posted a thing on Facebook today. It's like, nobody hated Trump until he ran for president.
Right.
You go back to the 1980s, 1990s, even early 2000s. He's hanging out with who? Oprah. What's the lady on the bus?
I don't know.
The one. Anyway.
Sorry, I don't know, man.
Black lady that sat in the front of the bus because she wasn't allowed.
Rosa Parks.
Yeah, Rosa Parks. He had a picture with her and all these other black people and this and that. It's like, why is he racist now since 2016? Even Hillary Clinton put a thing out, a post out there saying, if Donald Trump were to run for president, he could sell everything to them because Republicans are idiots. Don't quote me on that, but it's somewhere in that nature.
Right.
And it's like, we're not idiots. We're doing what we have to do to take care of what America is first. I live right now, even as a veteran out, as a retired Marine, disabled veteran, just like Josh. I would take a bullet for any of you right now. Right now, I would take a bullet for you, no matter what, to defend this country, to defend your right to vote, for your right to have a weapon, for your right to speak your mind. And unfortunately, we are not. There's a lot of backlash to that. And when we joined this radio station, Hood News Global, I was scared to death. I'm not gonna lie to you. I even talked to Junior. Dick talked to me. He goes, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to do this." And when we went over there and just talked to them,
Yeah.
Black and white. We're the whites. They're the blacks. And guess what? We meshed like that. We meshed, and this is what we have right now. To this day, sitting here talking to you, because we took the leap. We took that leap of faith. We weren't scared. I'm still not scared. And we just do it. And that's why when we talk about things like this, Dick, my heart just pounds for this, because we love it. We love it. We love it. I love it. You know, once again, I do not support Trump on everything he says. I do not. But do I support the majority of what he does? 100%. 100%. The majority of it, I support it. There are certain things that everybody can be fixed. Or I'm sorry, not everybody. Certain things can be fixed.
Yes, yes.
You cannot. Everybody makes a mistake. We're not going to agree on everything. Me and Dick don't agree on everything. It doesn't make a difference. But when we have a discussion about it, we work through it. And as Americans, that's what we need to do. Just like Trump is doing with Kim Jong-un. That's a big one. He's working through it. Was that meeting yesterday, was it all peaches and cream? I'm sure it wasn't. But as you can see, there were some big signings there. Whether or not Kim Jong-un follows through, that's to be seen. But to have that kind of, wow, that's a big fucking deal. To have the supreme leader, as what he's called, not the president, nothing else. You can't call him the president. God, if you do, you're going to be killed.
You will be killed.
You will be killed.
And, you know, I'm glad you're highlighting these things and these differences, man, because, like you said, when we were going to Hood News Global, it was new to you. It was a different environment to you. But you said, I'm going for it. It's okay. Because we have been trying to build this bridge of unity. We have been trying to set down the pillars for a unification that has been long absent from this country amongst the people. We're so worried, like, we're so focused on what everybody's not doing, that's all we bitch about, so still nobody does shit. How the fuck does that work, guys? I don't understand it.
Everybody wants to sit around and talk about it, but they don't want to be about it. And we have taken that leap of faith.
Right.
That leap of unity. We have taken that leap because we actually give a shit.
Because we care. We care.
That's a political
And let me
word.
tell you something.
Care.
Care is not a political word. You can stop prostituting the American language and all of your insinuations and all the indos and all this political correct bullshit, okay? I'm sorry, yes, there's a difference between being articulate and tactful and appropriate and being politically correct, okay? Now, I'm not apologizing if I hurt somebody's feelings when I make this statement, okay? I can voice my opinion. I can disclose the facts that are available to my knowledge at that point in time, and we can discuss it. And we can talk about it, and we can have a great discussion. Part of the big problem is, like you've touched on, like we've kind of touched on, is the fact that you have all of the media and everything driving these stories to different seasons from when they're going on, that it's simple distraction. It's simple distraction tactics to get other shit done. That's all it is. And people know this. It's the left hand doing something while the right hand should be doing something else, or you think the right hand is doing something else.
I got to say something. Lori put on hers. She put. You already scrolled down past it. And
Sorry, where's it at?
It's fine. I trust me. I've been zoned in on it. She said,
Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
The ones who are racist are the ones calling Trump racist. Lori, I know you're a longtime supporter. Or when I say long time, yeah, we've been on here.
We've been on here fucking 3 months, 4 months.
It's a long time for us.
It's a long time for us to think we'd be on the radio. Thank you for that.
I'm going to disagree with you on that. And the reason why I say that, just because someone says that I'm racist doesn't mean that they are racist. They're just simply putting out what they've been taught. So maybe they haven't figured it out yet.
Right.
Doesn't mean that they are racist. Maybe they just haven't learned the other side of it yet.
I can tell you the media isn't helping them
absolutely
overcome the racism.
Yes.
It's not. The entertainment isn't helping anyone overcome racism.
Yes.
The entertainment isn't helping us overcome anything.
I'm glad you brought entertainment up.
Especially, look at Robert De Niro and the whole sex trafficking. Is that not the perfect story to be in season with the shit that's going on in Arizona for a distraction against Hillary if they're involved in Haiti and everything else that we've been talking about?
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought him up.
Please, tell me why. This is good.
On Sunday, during the whatever show awards that was, and his first line comes out and he says, I've got one line, fuck Trump.
Yep.
And when they panned down to the audience, it was 50-50. People were clapping and hooraying and and this. You know what that tells me? He fucked up.
Yeah.
He fucked up.
He did.
Robert De Niro fucked up.
He did fuck up.
He thought he was going to go out there and get the whole and steal the show.
He thought he was going to incite a riot of chaotic happiness. Oh yeah, these are my people. Fuck Trump, blah blah blah, and he didn't get that.
He got some of it.
He didn't get it like he wanted to.
No, and that's what the problem is. I think these actors and actresses, I think they're being paid a little extra to go out and do these things.
What makes you think that? I'm curious to know.
The reason why that is, there certain channels, ABC, CBS, or whatever, that are affiliated with what I call the libtards or liberal side.
Right.
I'll say it. They're probably saying, "Hey, we'll give you a few million extra bucks to go say these lines."
Okay, I could believe that. I could say that's entirely plausible.
That's what drives me nuts about some of these celebrities. Are they really? I would like to sit down with a Robert De Niro as a veteran,
right,
and say, "Hey, why do you really hate him this much? Why?" And then I'm going to turn around and let him do his speech and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I value your opinion, Mr. De Niro. What did you do from 2000 to 2016 to change? I'm sorry, not 2016.
Well, basically, you're saying, what have you done to this point to change anything that you disagree with about Trump?
Yes.
You ain't done shit.
No, except for
being part of a trafficking or escort ring, supposedly.
To create more hate, to create more of this. Why don't you try to bring more unity?
He was driving division. That's all those public statements do, is drive division. And like you can see, we don't have to agree with everything.
No.
And there's times where Dilly and I don't agree on everything. And that happens. Do we go fisticuffs and fights and it goes to blows? If you're in the military, you know what fisticuffs means. All right? Do we go fisticuffs and blows? No, we don't. We sit down. We have a logical, rational discussion because we're both independent thinking individuals. And I hate to say this, but it seems more commonplace for people to not have their own original thoughts. And we discuss it, okay? I definitely want to address some of these comments that are coming in because they're pretty good. And, you know, Stephanie's like, exactly, self-entitlement. You're right. Participation trophies, fucking bullshit. Entitlement, bullshit, okay? American dream was never the American dream to come here as an immigrant and get free fucking lunch tickets and free housing and free everything. You knew you were coming here. You knew you were going to work your ass off. You knew you had to do your due diligence to accomplish your dream.
To become a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
And to live the American dream. You knew that's what you had to work for.
Here's what I want to address, though. I got to bring this up. When you think about anybody you've ever looked to for inspiration, and you look at the greats, you look at Martin Luther King, you look at Abraham Lincoln, you look at Thomas Jefferson, you look at George Washington, you look at these people, okay? When you look at them, what are they doing? They are working. They are constantly going out there and grinding and working. Just like that soldier in Iraq and Afghanistan who's out on patrol to make sure his battle buddies and his unit doesn't get fucked up in the fob. To make sure people don't get or become unnecessary collateral damage. Right now we have a system that's producing collateral damage against the people.
Yes, that's an understatement.
I don't know what else to say.
Yep, that's wow, that's exactly what it is. I mean,
see, and we have people, we have our listeners talking about, in my opinion, kids are not being raised to have pride or respect. Back in the day, kindergarten was a time when kids were taught social skills with some of the 3 R's. Okay, nowadays social skills are, what's my Facebook say, how many likes I got, and fuck that bully.
I don't know if you came over and checked on my kids today here at the house, but my wife and I brought her grandma down, her 82-year-old grandma, and from Indiana. She's going to be staying with us for a while. And she actually sat the kids. She said, both you kids go in timeout, both Maggie and Fallon. 10 minutes. I was like,
good.
When I heard that, my dad, my own father happened to stop by and say hi and check things out. And Maggie was sitting in a chair with her lips sticking out because she was in trouble in timeout.
Mm-hmm.
And Papa was like, "What's going on, Maggie? What's wrong?" "Oh, Fallon snitched on me." And Dad just turned around and walked away and looked at Grandma, said hi to her, and he left. And he already knew. He already knew.
Yeah.
And Grandma had sat them down for 10 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, wow. And I happened to call Shannon. She came over for lunch. She told me the story. I wish Grandma would do that more often.
I know.
Being bad.
And that's great.
I wish she was old enough. I'm sorry. I wish she was young enough. And I wish we had a willow tree out here. Say, hey, go pick your switch. That's what I really wish that.
You know, I'm glad you brought. I ever tell you my switch story? I'm sure I have, right? Sorry, I'm going to take a moment and put a little humor into this because it's getting really serious, really deep. Antonio, I'll address the comment about the lack of living wage. I've also talked about that with some other people, and I say that in my opinion, there is. I think the welfare system's to blame for that. Okay, and
I agree, yes.
I hope that people don't take much offense to that, and I'm not saying it in a negative way. But I think if you look at the welfare system, there's no...
Welcome, CJ.
There's no... Yes, welcome, CJ Abernathy. There's no incentive to get off the system. None whatsoever. And if you've done any historical research and realized that the food program was initially contemplated and developed to assist with the Native American people, then you'll understand how that system can keep a section of population on the lower end of poverty. Now, am I saying that poverty doesn't exist? No, not at all. I'm saying that poverty does exist, and it's existing, and it's crazy pace, and it kind of models the old European times when we had all the pheasants outside the kingdom doing the gardening. Now we just got all the pheasants inside the kingdom, being told what to do and what to buy and where to go and how to Yelp and everything else. So I kind of lost my train of thought out, man. Sorry about that. Because I was addressing this one up here. But
yeah, you got
the wage thing. Yes, it is a problem. Do I think it's a major problem? But I think it's partly a government problem and it's misimplementation. To be honest with you, I don't know if that's entirely true. Like I said, just my opinion. I agree with too many people take advantage of the welfare system and become lifelong welfare recipients.
Mhm.
Yes, I can attest for that. My own mother was one of those. By the time I was 15, she was teaching me how to play the welfare system. Okay? She was teaching me how to sell my food stamps for money. She was teaching me the ins and outs of getting more money for entitlements that don't belong to me. I looked at that as a child, and I looked at my childhood, and I said, you know what? I don't want to end up like my mom. And I chose to go in the military because if I didn't choose to go in the military, I would have ended up like a criminal, like a prostitute, like an addict, all of which my mom was. And I chose not to do that. So, yeah, there is a system there. And Antonio's saying, but a government problem is a people problem. You're right. That's why we're bringing it up. That's exactly why we're bringing it up. You understand?
Hey, Antonio.
Like,
I'm glad for your comments here, but you're speaking to the choir on that, man.
Yes.
Everybody knows that it's a government problem, and that's why we want to fix it. That's why we want to address it. That's why we want to. This is. I want to say it's common sense, but unfortunately, some people don't understand why and how come and what for.
I will say common sense is a uncommon virtue in today's society,
Yep.
in my opinion. And I got to thank my advisor for giving me that, in my opinion. And I apologize if I'm oversaying it, but I have to say that because, again, right now it is just my opinion with the facts that I am presented. My opinion can change based off the changing or the discovery of more and new facts. So just like we've been on the government piece and we've been talking about this welfare stuff, and we're talking about the homeless camps, and we're talking about all these societal issues, and we have, and we have our listeners talking about it. And I love it. I love that you're engaged because we have one, Nancy's telling us we have a large garden. We sell the produce in a small veggie stand by our house. We have offered some that are in need of veggies, free vegetables, all you can use if you want them to help the garden. The value of the veggies that would probably be a rate of $15.
Can I ask you a question on that, Nancy? When these veggies are at the point of where they're going to rot or they're right at that,
Look, Melis.
what do you do with those? What do you do with those? Do you throw them away or do you offer them for free? And the reason why I ask this can help some of these people that may not have so much money. You could say, hey, we're not going to do anything with these. Instead of having what I call the bums dig through the trash, why not offer these up?
Here's an interesting one, and you're right. And I think that she does, I think, say that she offers it up a little bit if they want to help in the garden.
There you go.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
And that is totally fair.
Yes.
I think that is 100% fair.
Wow. Okay. Yep. Thank you for answering that question without even typing anything.
Welcome, Alice Wilson, for joining. Stephanie is commenting. She said, we all know where the root of the issue is, but we need to work together instead of against. And we need to do it with a brain. That is a very good, true statement. We do need to work together instead of against. That's why I said, starting my show, if you are trolling my show, you are trying to troll my information, and you're trying to cause disinformation, I get it. I get it. I understand why you do it. Actually, I don't. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to understand why you do it. I want to understand what void you're trying to fill, because it's probably nothing more than that, and it's something to validate you by the attention you may be getting from that, which can gasline or gas start or whatever the word, I call it green light, your emotional response in the whole situation. I get it, but I ain't about it. I'm a troll hunter. So if you're trolling and you're doing this to maliciously or twist a narrative from the fact and from the truth, guess what? I don't want nothing to do with you. And if you're doing it to people and wrecking their lives, I'm going to find out, and I'm going to expose you for it. Period, point blank. We all know, okay, too many people try to think their voice doesn't matter. It does in numbers. That is a good statement. That is a very good statement. That's why we talk about the bridge of unity. That's why we talk about coming together. I don't want to use government words like coalition and all that shit, because when you look at coalitions, and that's all another subject. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Point is, bridge of unity. That's my intent. That's our intent. We want good people to be a part of the Dick Liberty team. We want people who come together and think with rational minds, with some intellectual ability, to have original thought, not thought conceived or scraped or ripped off or put apart and pieced together from other people, but original thought in addressing these issues. Original thought. Just like when you look at the Kenworthy case. How many people came in with their narrative of that story? How many more people are going to come in with the narrative of the story on the Veterans on Patrol? I hope they reach out to me. I hope they talk to me and to Dilly and I and to us. I hope they do. Because just like Mr. Abernathy wants to give Kenworthy, Mr. Lee Kenworthy, the opportunity to explain his story on his platform, I want to offer the same opportunity to the Veterans on Patrol. But I'll tell you, be ready to answer some questions, because from the look of it, I'm not happy about it. It doesn't sit right with me. Something's not right. We need clarification. So you have time to do live feeds, everything else. You have time to get in contact with me. If you don't, that will tell me your answer. And that goes with anybody who wants to deal with us. If you have the time to take to join us on our platform, answer the questions, then you are more than welcome here. But if you come on this platform and you try to talk in circles like every other politician that we hear and or see on our favorite news channels that we claim to be the mainstream media, which it is, it's just mainstream entertainment. If you do that, you are not welcome here.
Nope.
Because it takes away from our time, and it takes away from our resources, and it takes away from our energy to chase and deal with bullshit. We got a lot coming about. I'm confused with the Kenworthy case. Yes, you are not the only one who's confused with the Kenworthy case. Okay? I'm still even confused with parts of the Kenworthy case.
Yes.
And us being new, well, essentially from entertainment to journalist, we're learning the process. We're getting it. We're trying to figure it out. I'll tell you that I do know that he had a court. Well, I have been led to believe that he had court today in his medical holding facility. I am also led to believe that the judge who was in charge of his court hearing, and let me clarify, this court proceeding was not, it was requested by the medical personnel in charge of the facility. He didn't agree with the first doctor's diagnosis. The way that typically works is then that doctor calls in another doctor. The two doctors make the recommendation, and then that court trial is going to happen. To my knowledge, he was at the Carrier Clinic in New Jersey. Also, what I've been told is that the kids are safe and they are good. Okay? I've been told that Lee is out currently. And I know that's going to be exciting and happy and good news for a lot of people. However, I also understand that he did not leave appropriately. And what I mean by that is that he kicked out the window and left. I don't know what he is deciding to do. I don't know what Samantha is deciding to do. I just want to know. Oh, I'm just getting it in now. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Deborah Williams is saying she went to court today. Do we know what she went to court for? So many emojis get involved when kids are involved. Yes, emotions do get involved when kids are involved. You're right. That is why we need to unify, and we need the brain. Because if I'm an advocate for someone, and I know their emotions are getting the best of them, my first action is not to yell in their ear and get them hyped up and get them all blah, 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 flustered so they can't handle the situation. My first reaction is to, hey, relax, calm down, breathe, breathe. Let's take 10 seconds to get ourselves resituated. All right, what are we really looking at? I know there's a lot of stress going on. I know there's a lot you're dealing with. I know there's a lot of moving parts. I know this is something you never expected. I know this is coming out of you in left field. I get that. Let's not jump all over the place. Let's breathe. Let's focus. To my knowledge, at this time, I don't know if Jamie went to court yet. I'm being told she hasn't, but I don't know. And point being, I don't want to talk about Jamie. I want to talk about Mr. Kenworthy. I want to talk about, you know, I know you're not wanting to be there. I know there are rights that have been violated. I think there is some legitimacy to the case of the violation of Mr. Kenworthy's rights. I can't sit here and say what I would do under that kind of pressure and under that kind of stress or duress and involving my children and as big as it could be, or maybe it's not, but I can't sit here and say what I would do. I can't be a Sunday armchair quarterback and tell you exactly what I would do or how I would do it. I don't know. I don't have the same history as Mr. Kenworthy has. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Shannon, I'm not shutting you down. I'm not doing anything like that. And it happens, and it only happens because of what we're talking about right now. Those emotions get involved. The children get involved. It triggers and insinuates those reactions. And I'm not saying that you don't have a very valid point. You have a very valid point. Emotions do run high when kids are involved. Emotions run higher when people don't know what's going on, and there's confusion and disinformation and trolls and everybody chiming into this. Like, how much resource is taken away from where it actually needs to be? Same case with the veterans on patrol. How many resources are taken away from where they need to be? It's my understanding that Nogales and San Luis are the major hubs for the trafficking on the border. It's my understanding that, yes, Arizona does have a lot of trafficking in it. But speaking of them, I'm going to read out the Tucson police report, or media release that they put out. It said, suspicious activity, West Valencia Road and South I-19. On May 29, 2018, the Tucson Police Department responded to the site of what appeared to be a one-time homeless encampment located on private property in the area of West Valencia Road. Notice how they didn't mention the property. Okay? Take note of that. We identified the property, courtesy of their postings of the grid coordinates and everything else, and we figured out, hey, this is Cement's property. Okay? Several individuals from a group of affiliated homeless veterans discovered the site and expressed concerns about possible criminal activity in that location. Tucson Police Department officers, detectives, and command staff conducted a thorough inspection of the site, spoke with important parties, collected evidence. I still don't know what evidence they've collected. That hasn't been released to my knowledge at this point. Based on their investigation, there's no indication that camp is being used for any criminal activity, including human trafficking. There was unsustained assertion was made about a body that might be buried at the site. The cadaver dog was used to check the area. Negative results. Now, you have the same other gentleman, Craig Sauer, who goes in there, known as the Saw Man, and first is believing it and then denounces it. Okay? So, the Tucson Police Department took all the reports of the suspected criminal activity, and they seriously appreciate the public's awareness. How does Veterans on Patrol become a tool for the people? How do we actually run an organization like that without the damage of being listed as a potential militia? How do we, as a people, unite to handle the factual discrepancies in the actions of the Kenworthy case without distraction from the narrative, without distraction from the facts, without distraction from the history? Because I'm sure if you look at at these people the same way that we look and discuss and criticize American government and the history and our actions during those history, you'll see there's very similar patterns occurring both on the individual scale of people like this and on the global scale, the global leaders during the time that they're making these decisions that directly affect us. Dylan, you got anything to say on that?
No, man, I've been trying to catch up on this, to be honest with you. It just sounds like it's a mess.
It is a mess.
It sounds like a mess that shouldn't. It shouldn't. Things like this shouldn't be that way, and that's where I'm a little confused on what's going on. It's like, come on, let's
right. Because, and that proves the point exactly. There is so much disinformation. Okay, and I'm sorry. I've been trying to keep up with the comments. There's a lot going right here. And I see that Jamie's joined. Jamie, thank you for joining us. we're talking about a couple different things here. Andrea, Maria, thank you for joining. The stuff that's been going on here for so many years. I'm assuming you're referring to the trafficking and or the CPS issues and corruptions in multiple states, not just New Jersey or New York or New Hampshire or Florida or Texas or Indiana, in multiple states, not just one. Okay? I'm trying to go through these comments real quick. Problem I have with those VoIP, they are really big on showing all the donations rolling in. True people who are doing work to help people are not hawking for donations. They are doing the work and taking pride in what they do without shouting about from every angle. You know what, Nancy? That is a very, very good observation.
Bam.
Very, very good observation. It is the same type of observation that made us want to crucify Mr. Christopher Blake.
Yeah.
Who ironically still follows me to this day and sent me an invite to join one of his events. I don't wash my hands of him. I don't want nothing to do with him. The sensationalized narrative got you the big numbers, and by doing that, you have a better opportunity to get your message out. She's here. Okay. I did notice the other day where they did, and I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but VoIP was doing a live feed, and they had a supposed immigrant in the car with them. And they talked about this guy that they had found. He was an immigrant. He was coming across. The cartel has his family and a daughter, and they need $40,000 or they're going to kill him. He made mention of $40,000 or his family would be killed. So I get why you would bring this alleged victim on. I know that. I don't know that, but as I understand it, the potential for that trafficking there is there. Also, from some of the things that I've seen, in my opinion, I think that the cartel might be recycling their underground tunnels at this point. So I'm not saying that you're totally crazy and you're way off, but I think you need to look in a different area because I don't think you're in the appropriate area to accomplish the mission you're trying to accomplish. I've been, it's in my opinion that, like I said, I think everything started with good intentions, or at least I hope it did, because if is this another con of yours and you're trying to manipulate people for your gain, it will not end well. And that's not a threat. I'm just saying it's not going to end well for you. You're not fixing the problem. You're creating more problems. And you are, I want you to know that if you're doing this maliciously and not truthfully, every time your numbers climb and you hit 1,000, 1,200 people, you are emotionally stabbing them. You're emotionally stabbing them. Like, they don't have to be there to feel the pain. They don't have to be there to feel the emotion. They don't have to be there to be feeling connected. And I think you know that, because if you didn't, why would you tie your mission to the Disney child porn news story that you're not involved in? If I understand it correctly from the facts I've read, you have sexual abuse charges against a minor. You have felony charges for body fluid. This is just fact. I'm stating it. I'm not trying to criticize you or anything like that. But I'm saying I need you to make sense of this for me, so that if I continue this narrative, I am doing it correctly. So that is my challenge to you, Alpha Team, Veterans on Patrol. That is my challenge to you. Enlighten me. Come on my platform. Answer these questions. Explain why you're doing it. And maybe we'll get somewhere. Maybe we'll get to the real issue of the sex trafficking of children. To include American children. There's a lot of that. A lot more than you would think. Now, we're getting more comments coming in. Lee Davis, I want to say thanks for joining us. Cassie, thanks for joining us. Lisa Barnes, Shar, everybody, thanks for joining us. We've been having this has been a really deep show. Great stuff. I want to see, we get a lot of people say they never ask people to pay. If you're true at what you're doing, you don't need to ask people to pay. And you know the beauty of it, people are like, oh, I can make all this money, I can do this. When you don't ask people for money, and when you're not soliciting for donations and everything every day, you have nothing to gain. You have nothing to gain.
Can't be bought.
That means you are not corruptible.
Exactly.
You don't have an aspiration. You're just there for true good. You cannot be corrupted. Period. Point blank. So, we got more comments coming in. He's referring to the donation being given to VoIP. I believe, I could be wrong. Elizabeth, she probably won't answer. Yes, Nancy, I saw that too. Okay, so what do we do? How do we fix this? How do you fix this? You're right, he is also set up on private property. He never holds a gun. He will never hold a gun. He never explains why he holds a gun, but he has his guys, his team, holding the guns for him. You know, this streamer, I want to see the credibility. I want to see the aggression. I want to see him address these questions. I want to see. I want to know why he would highlight it. Is this where he really found it? Because I'm pretty sure one of the major corridors is, I don't know, 30 to 55 miles away from him. The skull was found maybe 25 miles away from his actual camp. So I want you to answer these questions. I want you to tell me about this. Like we said, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody can be in a shithole part of their life. Everybody can be at the bottom of the barrel. I know vets go to the bottom of the barrel more than anybody, probably. Because when you come back and you get reconnected with your family, everything's great for fucking 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Everything's fucking awesome. And then she's back to work and you're home and you're alone, and now all of a sudden that awesomeness fades away. Just like the illusion of what you were potentially serving fades away. Depending on your experience. I'm not saying this applies to every veteran. Okay? Because we all know, we all have different opinions, we all have different experiences. We're never going to see the... Dilly and I can go through the same experience, come out and tell you two totally different stories. It'll be similar, but you'll notice that there's nuances that are different between the two of us. Right?
Who caught the biggest fish on Saturday?
You did.
Or Sunday?
You did. You
Okay.
caught the biggest fish. You caught a king mackerel. It was about, I don't know, 28 pounds maybe?
No, that's 50.
Yeah, you're right. It was 50.
See, two different stories.
See? Two different stories. And then every time that, my fish was this big. My fish was this big, and you're catching minnows.
So the
Okay.
point of the story is...
Point of the story. We need to come together. We have to stop feeding this disinformation. We have to stop trolling one another. We have to stop playing tit for tat. We got to stop playing whose dick is bigger than yours. It's stupid. It's stupid. All right? The piracy of nonprofits is out of control. The commodores of corruption are out of control. I like just saying that. Commodores of corruption.
Yeah, Commodore's cool word.
Hey, if you want to use that, you got to talk to me. Got it? Okay? I'm just kidding. Use it all you want. I don't care. Commodores of corruption. All right? There's state after state after state with ethics violations, with, well, I don't know, the trafficking of people, young girls, young boys. It's not even, it's human trafficking. Yes, there's sex trafficking. There's also human trafficking. Did you know that there are agencies out there right now that will forge adoption paperwork and tell you that this young lady is an orphan and she is not a fucking orphan. She has fallen victim of parent alienation. Or she was just straight taken from CPS. Just like in the Republic of Congo. Dominican Republic of Congo. They do the same thing there. But nobody watches them because guess what? You got the priests involved. Everyone who was running an orphanage agency in Africa, there was a priest involved. And you have the good priest who's trying to find it, and the bad priest saying, "No, he's not here. You can't come in right now." Okay, and then you have, oh sorry, I missed your comment there, Jamie. My books are open, and I will show all the financial report at the end. I was also presented with a legal business to refer to. I wonder. I guess you're talking about some of the allegations against you, Jamie, and that's okay. I get it, and but I'm going to state the facts on this right here. High Rock Lake and fish with us. We have the right lake. We have Fish Daily. And
Hey, Billy.
What's going on here? Anyway, to stay on fact, okay? The piracy of nonprofits, the piracy of emotion, the piracy of the social media platforms, the piracy of the emotional, it's under bullying. There's just so much that's encompasses in this. It's ridiculous. And we need to come together. We don't have a choice. We got to. You want to see the change? Come be a part of the change. Let's be a part of the change. Let's come together and be a part of the change. There's no reason why we're so good at all this negative.
Thank you, Shar.
And jump in anytime, man.
I did.
Yes, thank you. And you can come in anytime too you want. Anything you got to say about it.
Yep.
If we don't maintain a unity, we already see that the picking apart is working for everyone. It works for everyone. It's easy to pick everyone apart, especially when you're negative. Especially when you're negative. Too easy. I mean, how popular was the movie 13 Reasons Why? It lays it out for you, how easy it is, right? Prime example. So we need to stop the piracy of the language. We need to stop the piracy of the social media. We need to stop the piracy of everything, in the sense that we're not sticking to the truth of the narrative. We're all sticking to opinions. We're all interjecting our feelings and our emotions. I'm not saying don't interject your feelings and emotions. What I'm saying is understand your true feeling and your emotion before you interject it. Understand how you need to manage your emotions as you are trying to accomplish your mission, your unity, as you're trying to build your team, as we try to unite together to create something that is worth leaving to our children. We had such a great weekend this weekend, didn't we, Billy?
Yes, we did.
My son was here. Your kids were here. Your best friend's here. It's his birthday. We're all in the pool. We're grilling out. We're doing everything. I want everyone who watches our show to be able to have the same experience. Everyone.
Everybody deserves that.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
You're a hard worker.
There's people working. You work hard. You're taking on extra responsibilities outside of your job to be an effective advocate, to be someone who wants to share the truth, to be someone who wants to make a positive difference in the lives of the children and our neighbors and our brothers and our sisters. Just because you live in a different state doesn't mean you're not my neighbor.
Exactly.
Fact. Just because you're in a different state does not mean you're not my neighbor. You're still my fucking neighbor. That's it. I don't know how else can you say. We are the divided United States right now. We need to go back to the United States.
Dang, Elizabeth's trying to get us off topic again.
We caught a whole bunch of fish. I couldn't even tell you. It was probably like 8 or 9. Sorry. All right. And thank you for that break in the comment.
It was 12 to be exact.
Oh, see? Different story, but Dilly's got the facts. It was 12, okay?
But that's okay. We'll.
And Nancy, I'm so glad you're bringing up the fact that people have to own their wrongs, okay?
Ooh,
that is huge. That is huge.
Oh man, that's my statement of the night right there.
Yes.
People have to own their wrongs. You have to. If you don't own your wrongs, you'll never be right.
Exactly. I mean,
you have to own it. You have to own what you did wrong.
You do. Let me ask our listeners right now. Would you have more respect for me if I made a mistake during this broadcast and I played it off tomorrow on my next feed or my next show, like, oh, whatever, you don't know what you're talking about, I know it. Or if I came on and said, hey, listen, I don't want to compromise your trust, faith, and integrity in me. I need to tell you that I was wrong in my original observation. Someone was nice enough and courteous enough to help educate me so I could tell you what I need to say now. I apologize if I made a mistake. I'm going to fix that mistake, and I'm going to do my best to endeavor not to make future mistakes of this nature. You're going to have a lot more respect for me. You might not watch me 1 or 2 times, but when you see my actions carrying through what I just told you and identifying the mistake that I did, guess what? You're probably going to give me a second chance. Not, I mean, you're probably gonna. You may not. I don't know, but you would be more inclined to give me a second chance versus someone else.
I gotta jump in here for a
Please
second.
do. Please do.
Jamie threw a comment out here. She goes, "Go back to my videos right there. I own up to my wrong." Jamie, I understand what you're saying, and nobody is calling you out right now. We're just
This is not directed at you whatsoever, Jamie. This is just.
Please, actually, I'm not even going to ask. Don't make this about you. This show is about what we want to do to help the people. And please understand that we want to find both sides of this Lee Kenworthy story. Your side, Lee's side, CJ's side. I'm sorry, I don't want to say both sides, all of the sides. So please don't make this about what you think is being pushed upon you, because neither one of us are trying to blast you. We want you to come in and put your input in. Trust me, we want to hear your input. We want to hear the other side's input. We want to hear everybody's input. So please, I'm asking you, don't make this about you. And I understand you're probably not meaning to, and I get that. And you probably did that unintentional, which is great.
Right.
But please, I'm glad you're with us. We like hearing it. But let's stay focused here. And the drama that's going on in some of these comments, come on. Let's be adults about it, and let's move forward, and let's keep going. And that's what this is about. Let's find everything, and let's put it all together and put this puzzle together.
I'm glad you're talking about that. And I'm watching all of these comments. And 251 comments, and probably the last 30 of them, everybody is expressing their genuine concern and their genuine desire to build unity.
Oh my God, I keep saying unity.
Hashtag unity. Hashtag
unity. I love it. That was our main goal from the beginning.
Yeah, we've been talking about building the bridges of unity since we started this show, as a matter of fact, and that's true fact. Okay. Yeah, and Debbie, I gotta say, I don't have an agenda. Okay.
There is no agenda.
There is no agenda here. If I had an agenda, I would not be able to maintain an unbiased, objective opinion. That's period, point, paragraph. I'm not going to give you any subjectivism. I'm not going to do anything of the sort. But I don't have an agenda. I have a goal. My goal is to build unity. My goal is to raise awareness. My goal is to create a network of resources for people like you, like me, like Dilly, to be able to use and feel confident in and trust. That's not federally managed. That's not anything else than us essentially getting together, having a couple beers and talking about the real shit that's going on. Okay? The unity is what we need right now. We need to come together and fix the problems. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And I know that's what deters a lot of people. I'm getting kind of confused from some of these comments here, but to stay on topic, it deters people because there was a comment earlier, your voice is never heard till you stand alone, or till you stand together. It's never heard when you're alone. Well, let me tell you something. Just like the back of my shirt says, a warrior is always alone till there's an enemy at the gate. If you're a vet, I'm pretty sure you know what that means, and you can understand that, okay? So, why do the warriors have to sit alone? You call them when you need them. You call them when you need them, you don't hesitate, and they go and they do it for you. Why can't we have that same mentality here among the people in our country? Why not? Okay, now that we're running bathwater and stuff. What else you got, Dilly?
Says unity in the bath or the both? The bath.
The bath. All right, anyway.
Shannon's running my bathwater now.
Anyway,
Thank you for the smile. I needed a little giggle there because it's sometimes the serious topics they run rampant and
They do.
and it's good and it's great. It's nice to have a nice little chuckle that brings things back together.
yes,
Laughter just brings, especially me. I love.
you do, man. You always laughing, man.
I'm always laughing. I love it. It's always fun. So,
But hey, and you see all the laugh and the love going on right now?
that's what
We've talked about this too. Adversity is one universal connector. It connects every one of us. Adversity, not ironically, brings together people and creates unity, right? And unity creates happiness. So we went from super deep, hard topic. We talked about everything. We're talking about the unity. We're addressing the issues. We're making jokes. And now we're coming together and we're having a good show. And we're enjoying it.
Cheers to that. And that's
So-
why I'm raising my beer to it.
Yes, we salute you guys for understanding what we're trying to accomplish and bringing people together and getting this done. This is great. I wish and I hope that all of us could have a barbecue right here on the beach. You guys would love it, I promise you that.
I don't know.
I didn't say here, I said on the beach.
I know. I don't know. It's terrible doing a barbecue on the beach. It's awful.
It's no fun doing that. So, I'm going to go ahead and do a little recap here. We talked about a lot tonight. I think we've hit the main points, and I don't want to be a mouth of redundancy. I don't want to beat dead horses. There's no point in that. It makes you really tired.
Why do you keep calling me Billy, Eddie? It's Dilly, not
It's
Billy.
Dilly.
It's
Dilly,
with a D.
Dilly. He is the original Dilly. So tonight, I know a lot of you were hoping for that initial slam on the Kenworthy, but I'm not doing that. I'm not twisting the narrative. We talked about it last week. It was super huge. It was a lot. There's still more to come. So when we have more verifiable and
Thank you, Stephanie.
good facts, we will present them to you. Until that time, I think it would be the best decision to let Mr. Lee Kenworthy and Miss Samantha Brown and Jamie and Fran and everybody who's been a part of that. Now's the best time to just leave it be and see what happens. Don't troll them. Don't pick at them. Don't do anything. Just leave it be and let them see what happens.
No worries, Eddie.
Let us
no
see what
worries.
happens. Because you'll find that when people, and I'm not saying any one of them are attention seekers. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in my experience, I've found that people who are the real attention seekers will come out, and you will know soon enough.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to-
No, you're good, man. You're good. So,
Stephanie got me rolling tonight.
yeah, she's on a
She's on a nice little.
take to the beer. And, yeah, you're right, man. That's a good plan.
Yes.
All right.
Take it to the bath.
Now, in regards to the veterans on patrol, I had to bring that issue up because I myself am a veteran. Dilly's a veteran. Things in the way that veterans are represented are near and dear to our heart. And if they're not being represented correctly, if they're being utilized and manipulated to accomplish an actual agenda, I have a problem with it. I know a lot of other people probably have a problem with it. They just might not be aware of it. Because when you look at veterans and you see everything about the military, right? And when they come home, you see all the great stuff. As to the sources and questions and answers. You see all this great stuff, and you see the surprise reunions with the kids in the school, and you see the surprise reunions with the family. But like I said, you don't see the isolation and the separations and the disconnections that happen after those 3 weeks of bliss when you first get home from being across the pond getting your ass blown off. You don't see that part. You don't see the women veteran commercials. When do you ever see a women's veterans commercial outside of rape or some kind of sexual abuse? You don't. Am I right? Am I wrong?
I couldn't say it any better, to be honest with
You don't. I don't fucking understand why.
Yep.
They're just as important. They sacrifice just as much, and they work just as hard. You never hear about that. All right. So when I have a feeling, I'm going to look into it. Right now, not everything with the veterans on patrol sits well with me. So, vets hide their demons deep. Yeah, you're fucking right. They do. You're right.
That's an understatement.
And they get medicated and told that they need to be taking certain medicine by the VA from time to time, even when they don't want to take it. That's happened to me. I can vouch for that. Okay? I don't like that. Because the medicine they were giving me seizures. Mental seizures. It would take my wife 15 fucking times to get my attention to snap out of my mental seizure so she could talk to me. And then when I did, I didn't know who the fuck I was half the time. I don't know if Lewis is on here. Okay? I'm not advertising that it is on here. Not to change the subject, but that one caught my eye. I don't know if Lewis is on here. I'm not advertising that it is on here. I am telling him if he wants to be on here and he wants to answer some of the harder questions, I will ask them. Because we need clarification, and I will not back anybody. I'm not supporting any. I'm not affiliate. I want truth. I'm a truth seeker. I'm a troll hunter. That's it. Period. Okay? That's what we want.
It's Lewis on it. Hey, Lewis. Hey, Lewis, you on here?
I gotta say I'm sorry because I'm looking at. There's a little bit of delay of what we're doing. I'm looking at it, and man, if I'm not fucking doing the goddamn Marine point every time I make a statement about how fucking shit pissed off I am, I don't know what you call it.
This is wow. This is. I love it when positivity comes through, especially when we come to the end of the show.
Yeah, yeah.
The positivity with Stephanie making her bath and beer comments. And yeah, the Bud Light, dilly. I wish I could drink Bud Light. It gets me real bad heartburn. Yeah, I'm a little sissy when it comes to that. Give me some Jack Fire. I'll drink that too.
Fuck Jack Fire.
Yeah,
I hate Jack Fire.
That's it.
These guys have me puking because. Sorry, there we go. This guy had me puking from Jack Fire.
Yeah. So.
And my own bad decision.
That's why I drink Coors Light. Trust me, I love Bud Light too. But anyway.
But I was puking from my own bad decision too.
I love the positivity that keeps coming in, and that's what, especially at the end of it, from all the seriousness, and then we keep reiterating the unity, and then the positivity just comes in and flows in just nice and smooth, like a nice little 2-foot wave from the ocean, just nice and smooth.
And you know, like I said before, and I'm glad you're bringing it up. When you actually bring people together and you unify them, not that you're doing it, but the positive energy and the positive accomplishments that comes. Like, negative energy is hard to deal with, and it's hard to fight. But when you unify a positive energy, you roll over negative energy like it don't even fucking exist.
Exactly.
I promise you. I fucking promise you. The patients that go to me are the worst. Where the vet and those that came where severe child abuse like molestation is basically brought home with me every shift in my mind and heart. So, and see, even some of you advocates doing this work, the true advocates out there, I hate to tell you this, but you're going to face your own PTSD. You're going to face your own emotional abuse. You're going to face your own questions on whether you did what you should have done. And you're going to question yourself 100,000 times because you don't know if you did the right thing. Goes with the territory.
Yep.
It does. I hate to be the one to tell you that, but that's the truth. And you'll doubt yourself, and people like the trolls that I'm so against will feed on that and try to insinuate you or incite a riot within you so that you doubt yourself, only to make them feel justified in what they're trying to rationalize. That's all I got. That's all I got. You got anything?
I wish CJ would call in because every time I talk to him or we talk to him.
CJ, if you want to call in, man. I want to hear what you got.
It doesn't have to be anything about the case.
You could just tell us about the day.
Tell us about your day.
Tell us about your dishes, man.
Tell us about that badass beard. Was it flowing through the wind today? Was it just?
Let me see.
Was it just? Did you have a great day? Was it just your North Dakotan accent or accent or South Dakota? I can't.
Well, here I just invited him to join us, so we'll see.
And it's like, you're just an intelligent man that speaks it like it is, and it's just so awesome just hearing you talk. But it's anyway. If you don't, I get it. You're probably enjoying your child, or you're doing your thing, enjoying your family. I get it. So,
well, yes, CJ. If you don't join us, that's okay. We'll definitely talk again. I'm sure. I think I think that, and I gotta say, I just want to take a moment and I want to say thank you to everyone who's tuned in, who's made the comments. You guys make it worth everything that we do during the week. You guys do, because we know it's resonating with people. We will be, I will be, all of us will be one voice together. And for those who are too scared to stand up and don't want to because you feel like you might be in danger, that's okay too. You can help in other ways. You can send us factual information. You can tell us what is going on, but it better be real, not fake shit. All right. So with that, I want to say you guys are awesome. It's been a fucking awesome show. We love the comments. Thank you so much for the love. We hope you share. And if you guys got something you want to hear about next week, leave some comments. We'll see if we can attack it.
I see a few comments saying CJ's beard is awesome. Believe it or not, my beard was almost as long as that 3 weeks ago.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm upset for cutting it myself. As you can see, my gray stubble's coming back.
Yeah.
It'll be there.
Yeah.
It'll come back. So for the fans,
looks like I have the beard lead.
So yes, everybody else have a great week. Have a great night. Thank you for listening and laughing at my laugh. If that makes you laugh, that's awesome. I love it.
It's great.
That's what we're here for. So.
Remember all this love and positivity you're leaving the show here with Knight. Carry it with you throughout the rest of the week. Kick ass, take names, hold your heads up. You guys got a lot to be proud of. Let's get it done, guys. Let's come together. Let's build a bridge of unity. You guys have a great night. Thank you.
Good night. Oh, she said that.